Now there are four main steps to an interview, and they're easy. It's really important that you don't get the steps in the wrong order. They follow, they're almost like building a story, and there's a bit of a psychological, or a bit of psychology involved in the way that you unfold the interview. So I want to go through them one by one. The steps are breaking the ice. Then we need to talk a little bit about ourselves. Then we need to talk about the business, and then we need to end the interview. So it's actually very, very simple, but it's important that you do it the right way. So let's start off with break the ice. Now remember that she will be nervous. No matter how friendly you've been, no matter how much you've managed to avoid using any word that sounded anything like interview, remember that she'll still be nervous. She could have spoken to someone before about joining a party plan business, and it might have been a bad experience for her. For all she knows, you're going to be real pushy, and you might only care about getting her signature on the paper. And even though we know you're not like that, she doesn't know that. So she could be a little bit defensive. So this part could be the most important part of the entire process. It's just you and her chatting, getting to know each other, and getting her to relax, basically. If you can't get her to relax and feel comfortable with you, you're not going to get anywhere with you, and I would suggest it's almost impossible to get her to join. So you need to chat with her by asking a lot of questions. She needs to feel that there's some common ground between you, and she needs to feel that she can trust you. So the most important skill that there is in interviewing is not talking, it's questioning. And with questioning, obviously, comes listening. So you could do an interview where, well, I've seen people do interviews where all they do is talk, and the poor person is sitting there listening, getting their ears bashed. But the best, most clever interviewers are the ones who pretty much only ask questions. And they listen really well, and when they've listened to the answers, they can then ask other questions. And it's amazing how you can do this and have somebody pretty much talk themselves into joining by the end of it. So now here are some, before I show you some examples of some questions, the other rule to question asking is that once you ask it, you must wait for the answer. Some of us are terrible at it. We're just dreadful at asking a question and then answering it ourselves. And we mustn't do it. You know, you might ask, what made you interested enough to take a business pack? Instead of waiting for her to answer the question, you could say, oh, what made you interested enough to take a business pack? Was it because you really liked the look of the blah, blah, blah? Or did you think that when I talked about the blah, 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 that was quite interesting? So, really bad example, but I think you get what I mean, is that I asked the question and then I answered it, and she didn't have to say anything other than nod her head. So I didn't find anything out from her at all by doing that. So we must ask the question, be completely quiet, not speak, zip the lip, and wait for the answer. Just wait for it. So here are some examples of questions that you could ask at this stage. What do you do? What are you doing at the moment? What do you do at the moment? How's that working for you? You could ask similar questions like, how's that working for you? Are you enjoying it? How long have you been there? What do you like best about it? So you're just asking her things. You want to learn more about her. I noticed that you liked the XYZ product. Is that your favorite one? What do you like most about it? You know, and once you get people talking about the product, they just go for it. When they love the product, they get all emotional about it, and they start talking about when they used it to do this and it did that and this was awesome. And then you know you've done it, you've broken the ice when they start to talk like that. Another question that I like is, what made you interested enough to take a business pack? And that's normally quite an interesting question to ask as well.